friends, it's Executive Coach Ed DeCosta with a lesson on one of my favorite subjects, and that is productivity. So today I'm going to teach you about the 4 C's of productivity, but it really wouldn't be a lesson on productivity for me if I didn't start with my favorite phrase, which is plan your work and work your plan. That is the single key, but it'll be further illustrated by the 4 C's. And why is being productive so important? Well, have you ever ended the day and felt tired, felt exhausted, but you're really not quite sure? You can't put your finger on anything meaningful that you got done? That's not a good feeling, is it? We want to avoid that. We want to avoid days like that where you're just so busy in little stuff, but you really don't get anything of any significance. And so these 4 C's will keep you from having that feeling at the end of the day and replace it with this feeling of great satisfaction and accomplishment. So what are those 4 C's? First one is choice. It begins with choice, my friends. You've got to own the responsibility for your own productivity. The choices you make, whether they're great choices, whether they're okay choices, or whether they're horrible choices, you have to begin with the ownership of that choice. It's nobody's fault but your own. So own it. You've got to own it and say, these are the choices that I'm going to make today. Make those affirmations to say that I am going to accomplish these objectives. And if it's going to be, it's up to me. Probably heard that before. The second C is certainty. You got to have a clear understanding of where it is you're going and why. Again, the need for a documented plan. You don't have a documented plan, you're just winging it. And just winging it doesn't cut it. Doesn't create productivity. And when you have a documented plan and you have certainty, what it does is it enables you to avoid lack of focus, distraction, to minimize interruptions, whether they're human or electronic. Really, really key. The third C is clarity. It's about vision, of course. How far can you see? Can you see the end? Do you see the what and the why of what it is you're doing? Again, having clarity of your day or your week, it enables you to avoid that confusion that tends to get people spinning their wheels, that feeling of being overwhelmed with things. If, for example, you're checking your email too often or looking at your phone too frequently, this is the kiss of death of productivity. And when you have clarity of what it is you're doing, you're better able to put aside those sources of interruption and distraction. And the third is to have courage. If you really want to be productive, you're going to have to break some eggs, so to speak. If you want to make omelets, you got to break some eggs, cliche or metaphor, depending on how you want to look at it. You got to have courage to avoid the obstacles, the challenges, the impediments that are inevitably going to get in your way. They get in my way. They get in just about everybody's way from time to time. And you got to have courage to move to plan B, to avoid, to go over, under, through, or what have you, those obstacles so that you can stay productive and you can stay in a resourceful state, that you don't get frustrated, you don't get distracted. Now, if you find yourself getting stuck or becoming unproductive, I challenge you to revisit the 4 C's, and they will most likely get you back on track for a productive day. Again, Ed DeCosta, and I hope you found this helpful. Take care.